Hi, my name is Bobby Cook Gallagher. All right, so my name's Bobby Cook Gallagher, 25, actor, live performer.
Have you been here before? Have we talked before?
No.
Is this deja vu all over again?
No, I wish it was, because you have a great place here.
All right, well, it's cool. You're welcome anytime. Just bring coffee. And
know?
Bagels.
Bagels.
Bagels. All right. So, yes, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm 25. I'm a live theater actor. I've been lucky to go from state to state across the country, doing shows anywhere from Mamma Mia to Seven Brides, Seven Brothers, new works in between. And yeah, so hopefully I don't want to say up and coming, but I graduated in 2016, moved here this January.
Where'd you graduate from?
Catholic University of America.
Oh, okay,
DC.
yeah, down in DC. Yeah,
yeah.
School, right?
Love it.
Let's move over to the Broadway stuff
Yes.
and this genre of music. For a young person, I find it fascinating because it's really easy to get caught up in what we call pop music,
Yes.
right? And because you want to fit in with everybody else.
Yeah.
How was that growing up for you? I guess you probably went to a beat of your own drum, so to speak.
I do now, but it wasn't always like that, especially coming right out of college in 2016. I started classically trained, like opera, like Don Giovanni, like like that whole thing.
That's great.
Thanks. Shout out to Rick Chrisman, my voice teacher from Catholic, and Marilyn Moore.
I might want to get a voice teacher myself. Maybe I can,
look. I think everyone.
I'm
can
fat
benefit
enough to
from
be
it.
an opera singer, right, Sarah?
No,
she's not saying.
She's
You
great.
just it's. Well, going back from for Broadway, it's very interesting because Broadway, especially in the last 2 or 3 years, projects that have been in the works for the last 5, are really sort of changing the demographic of people who can relate to shows.
Yeah, I think the classic Broadway shows that we're all used to are kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
And sometimes they make a limited,
Appearance,
a limited appearance, a limited run, and they're gone. But like Miss Saigon is an example of that.
Yeah.
You're doing this fundraiser. You're with
Yes,
these
he's
kids
gonna
here.
be
So
helping
tell us
us.
what you're doing right now.
Sure. Well, right now I'm just got off doing
Studying.
some cabarets. I'm
Right.
studying with. I came up here really for the training, and besides auditioning, so if anyone's listening, EMC, which is the Equity Membership Candidate Program.
Yeah. Okay. So you
yeah.
get you right in the union. I
Yep.
like that.
So it's the
That's the
on track.
theater union.
Yeah, that's the theater. Equity is the live
Right.
performance union
Yeah.
for you. But just in case anyone who's interested, Equity Actors Association.
Right.
But yeah, besides cabarets, just trying to plow my way through the pavement of doing student films when I can.
Student films.
Oh, I
That's
love
great.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole nother medium, and it's fascinating how growing up you think, okay, you perform, everyone's like, oh, you just perform, you do whatever. But film and television, there's aspects that collide. It's a totally different beast of different gears. And
I would say this: if you were to ask me who has the toughest job, the movie actor, the television actor, the news anchor, or the Broadway star, I would always say the Broadway star.
Same.
Because the Broadway star has to do the same show over and over again, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, depending on the schedule. They don't get off. It's very physical, especially when there's a lot of dance and movement involved, especially when you have to rush to get a change of clothes or whatever's going on, change the scenery. And then, just because you know it really well does not mean you won't forget what you're doing in the middle of doing it.
Yes.
And you got to work ways of, all right, after a while, you get so good at solving the problem that nobody notices. And that's the objective of a good Broadway star, to be able to solve it where nobody notices. Or that the director is like, hey, that was a good improv that you just did up there. And you're like, well, it's just, keeping the show from dying, keeping it moving forward. But how about you pick one song that, if you're going to do your audition, okay, and really try to make an impression on the casting director, what is your go-to song? And you could just do maybe one verse.
Yes.
Okay.
This leaves an impression. I won't say the tongue. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. You teach me and I'll teach you. It's early in the morning.
That's fine.
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Yeah.
Getting a Pokemon.
Hi, I'm Renar Gagnon,
And I'm Emil Gagnon.
and we're from Canada.
Network, I'm Zach Martin, and you never know who's going to stop by the studios. We've got these, I would say students at this point. It's the best way to describe who we have in the studio. Young adults, we'll call them young adults. Little guys. Well, anyway, introduce yourself. You with the hat.
Which one?
You with the hat over here to my right.
My name is Emil.
Emil?
And they're twins.
And you're twins.
Yes.
Are you identical twins?
No, we're fraternal.
See, that's a good question I asked because a lot of people always assume when you're twins, you're identical, even when you might not be. What's really stupid is when it's a boy-girl twin and they go, are you guys identical? Like, what kind of stupid question is that? Now, being that you are twins, have you ever pulled the fast one on people who might not recognize the difference? I know your parents, they can definitely see the difference. I see the difference.
Well, when we talk to them on the phone, sometimes I can't tell either.
See, that's funny. Yeah. Do you try to get each other in trouble by doing those kind of things?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good stuff. What about in school? Have you ever pulled anything being twins? I mean, if you're gonna be a twin, use it to your advantage, is what I would say. Now, are you both musicians?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What instrument do you guys play?
I play saxophone, piano, and drums.
Wow. Okay. What about you?
I play piano and drums, and I started trumpet.
Trumpet's a good one. Yeah. I noticed you picked all the loud instruments. Your family must be thrilled.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of the projects that you've been part of at your young age at 14? I understand that you were doing some charity benefits and that you actually went to Taiwan to pay.
Taipei.
Right?
Yeah.
To pay.
Yeah. So most of our most of our activities, travels are like performances,
Mm-hmm.
shows. But with this Taipei thing, Jeannie said that this would be a different experience. So we went over to. It was more of we were helping out kids,
Mm-hmm.
or kind of come out of their shell, and then we did a show at the end after 2 weeks.
What was the biggest thing that you took away when you came back from Taipei and ended up back in North America from Canada? Yeah.
Well, we learned how to work with kids a lot better. We got to see how people acted, their personalities.
Uh-huh.
They would open up to us.
Right.
That was a really big part of their experience, that
What-
they were able to help them open up and be more emotional.
So you were able to get the kids in Taipei to open up and be more emotional. More emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting stuff.
There's this one girl, she wouldn't talk at all, maybe even like for maybe one whole week. Then at the end of the thing, she would even start talking. I think her mom even cried.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that
That's
great?
great. And how old was she?
Maybe 7.
Oh, that's
6.
awesome.
Hi, my name is Sarah Chow, and I'm from Canada. I play a little bit of piano and drums and flute.
Flute. Oh, flute's a very interesting. Do you know very interesting instrument? Do you know that there's a rock band that featured the flute? You know that? You ever heard of Jethro Tull?
No.
All right. Well, listen. This guy, Ian Anderson, and we would always kind of have fun with him. He would flout around. He was a flautist that flouted around with a flute, flouting around with a flute, a flautist. And he would do songs like Hymn 43 and Locomotive Breath and various others. Teacher, Thick as a Brick. And he'd be up there on stage wearing his tights and putting one foot up on the other, and a wild man with his hair all over the place playing. Except their major song, Aqualung. There's no flute in it. It's the biggest song, no flute.
You know
But a group,
Aqualung?
yeah, well, sitting on the park bench. And I'm not going to say the rest of the lyrics. Let me ask you, who's your favorite artist right now, performer, in music?
Who do you really like?
My teacher.
Your teacher?
Your teacher. That's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
That's wonderful.
Really?
Teacher.
What's your teacher's name?
Her name is Jeannie Lee.
Jeannie Lee is your
Oh.
biggest influence
Oh
out
my
of
God. Well,
everybody.
Jeannie
so
is a
there's
big
no
influence on
there's
all of it.
no Taylor Swift, there's no Pink, there's no Lady Gaga. It's your music teacher. Well, that's pretty impressive. So what Broadway show are you going to see?
The Cher Show.
Oh, the Cher Show.
The Cher
Okay.
Show. We're going to see the
Are
Cher
you
Show.
guys all Cher fans?
They have no clue.
Do you have no clue Cher is? If I can turn back time.
They
That
don't.
sounds like Cher when I sing.
And they're going to actually. We have a friend who's in the show.
Right.
Who was my shining star last year. His name is Blaine Alden Krause, and so hopefully we're going.
Wow.
We're going to see him, and we're going to go backstage. At
That's
the
cool.
Cher Show. Tonight, actually.
Broadcasting from the Rock and Roll Bomb Shelter.
I'm ready.
Surrounded by radioactive biscuits and the world-famous Rock Hives, located 40 feet beneath the radio station. It's the Big Fat American Rock Show with your host, the Doc of Rock, the Professor, everyone's favorite mad music magician, crazy uncle, and your best friend in the whole wide world, Zach Martin.